Hi, Dr. Sakhaee here. One of the things I wanted to talk about in this video is the realization that when people are in so much pain, their own emotional, psychological, physical pain, they're so engrossed in that suffering that they cannot see anything else. They cannot see, sometimes it's not, they cannot see the solution, they cannot see the light on the other side of the tunnel, they cannot see or perceive other people's pain. Often they just are unable to see things from different perspectives, which is completely natural. So what do you do, like when you find someone who is suffering and is in so much pain? Unfortunately, many of us think by giving advice, that person suddenly realizes, oh wow, there is a way out, and they will take that action based on what you have given them. That's what you hope anyway, right? That's why you give advice. You want that person to be relieved of their suffering as quickly as possible, so you offer some kind of advice and suggestion, only to realize it backfires on you. It's like, wow, they from kind of ignorance to even being attacked for giving advice, that's something you may experience. And for most of us, including myself, I've experienced that a number of times. Two things are happening. One is, often we forget to acknowledge and be with someone else's suffering, to actually step into it and not judge the situation, not judge that person, not judge the situation, and just allow that person to feel felt, understood. Just presence alone is what is required, at least initially, and for a while, until that person may themselves open up to advice by asking for it, rather than having to give it to them unsolicited without their openness to advice or guidance. So if you do come across a friend or family member or anyone that is suffering and you have the desire to relieve them of suffering, you must first be with their suffering and just be with that and their experience, their perspective. Really get them, make them feel felt by being present. And you're not doing that to get some outcome, you're just being there for the simple, mere allowing them to be as they are, allowing their experience to be acknowledged, allowing them to feel heard and felt. When there is an openness, often the person may ask for guidance. But something even more powerful is inquiry, guiding that person towards the right answer without you giving them the direction. And all you are doing is provide some simple and powerful questions that help them go deeper and understand the solution for themselves. Why is that more powerful? Well, because they feel empowered through that process. Because they come up with the solution, they own the solution, and it's more likely that they follow through and take some action. And that is why it's so much more powerful to guide someone towards the solution themselves rather than telling them the solution or giving them advice. So simple questions you can ask once, of course, after you've acknowledged and being with their suffering and there is an opening. Asking them, you can even actually ask for their permission to be guided or coached or around the situation, or just simply ask them if it's okay for you to ask a number of questions and they can stop you at any time if they didn't want to go there, because you believe when they're ready they can open up and go where it may be uncomfortable, but that's where the transformation may take place. So the first step is empathy and true compassion. The second step is to provide some powerful questions for that person to go through that process of discovering the solution for themselves. Now, there are many kinds of powerful questions we can ask. I can share a few of them here in this video. We'll probably need a dedicated session for that in another video. One powerful question is rephrasing or phrasing or echoing back that person, whatever that person has said, and then asking them, is it true? And you do it in a very neutral way. You can even add that you're not saying that it's not, you're just asking a simple neutral question. Is it true? And this is a process that's inspired by Byron Katie's work, Loving What Is, or what is called the work, which is a process of inquiry. So the idea is to really allow that person to express their opinion exactly as it is, even to an extreme case. Like, for instance, someone might have come to a conclusion that all people are evil, or these people are evil, or that people are evil. It could be a group, it could be an individual, it could be a collective, whatever it is. They kind of got a belief system based on a series of experiences, perhaps bad experiences they've had from those people, that from an individual or a group or whatever it is. So you actually say that back to them. All people are evil. Is it true? Is it true? And then they may say, yes, absolutely. And then you follow up that question with, are you absolutely certain that it's true? And then they may say, yeah, I'm pretty sure about it. Yes, yes. And you may ask, could you share some proof? And then they will tell you all the stories and experiences. And so these, essentially, you are trying to guide them towards understanding reality through the process of inquiry. And then from there, bringing out certain belief systems that are interconnected with their original belief system. So all people are evil. So then they may give specific examples that had led them to that conclusion. And once they share those, then you can actually go deeper with that and ask them if that is true. Find the belief systems behind it. For instance, let's say, a person had done something wrong to the person, whether they stole or cheated or whatever it is, right? And so you go into that and ask them whether that expecting people to act a certain way or be a certain way is actually true. For instance, someone stole something from them, let's say, and you may say, so and so should not steal from you. Is it true? And then they will kind of think about it as, yeah, of course they shouldn't. Are you absolutely sure if it's true? And you kind of go deeper and deeper into that inquiry. Try to understand, for them to understand reality. So this is the process of understanding the truth of the matter, the reality, bringing out all these belief systems about how people should be or shouldn't be. So it's all opinions which have been shaped by society, by the environment. And out of that, this process of inquiry allows people to to acknowledge reality as it is without fighting or resisting it. There's the belief systems about how reality or people or things should be. It kind of comes to the surface, and the recognition that these are just belief systems and opinions about how things should be and not reality itself is, you bring it into light, but they bring it to light. You are helping, you're guiding, but they will see it for themselves. So they will go through the process. If they're not ready for it, that's fine too. There's a sense of acceptance of whatever that person, whatever stage they're in, because there needs to be an openness for seeing. If the openness for seeing is not there, then the time is not right. The person may in fact retract or defend or attack if the willingness to be open and spacious in the midst of the inquiry and the awareness, then it's just not the right time. So that person's level of awareness and openness and acknowledgement needs to be sought out by you as the mentee or the coachee or just a friend to provide that level of guidance. So basically what I wanted to share in this video is just moving away from direct advice giving or making that situation wrong, that person wrong, to a situation of acceptance and compassion and being with their suffering and allowing that to be as it is until that person is actually willing to be open to any kind of guidance, which will be done through inquiry rather than giving advice, so that they can be empowered to find the solution for themselves. Now, in this video, we just talked about inquiry in relation to belief systems and reality, but there may be there's a process of inquiry to actually help them discover the solution, which is what questions that may be asked is, what is the challenge, and what is the solution? How can you get there? What are some steps? What is the next thing you can do? And what are your expectations? What happens if it doesn't happen? If you don't get the result? So all these kind of, then we talk about kind of engaging with influencing the situation. But before we even influence the situation, we have to understand the reality before we try to influence reality. Now you might say, why can't we just skip that step and go directly to influence? Well, of course you can. Will you get the results that you want, or is it aligned with the evolution of humanity? Now, ultimately, whatever you do, it will never be a mistake, whether you skip a step or you don't. But essentially, if you are looking for effectiveness, then understanding reality, your belief systems, your mental models are important in order to create transformational change. So when you do create a solution, or come up with a solution, or discover it, and you take action towards that solution, the solution is sustainable, powerful, and effective. So I hope this video helped, and thank you for listening. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Feel free to leave a comment on your reflections on this video, if you take action, if you follow the process of inquiry and being with other people's suffering, and you'd like to share your experience, whether positive or negative. Would love to hear from you. Thanks so much for listening, and see you next time.